Hello everybody, and here we are with part 8 of our third batch of 45 RPM picture sleeves, and we're starting off with Journey, Still They Ride, which is a really cool 45 because it's got that non-album exclusive B-side La Raza del Sol. Now that was in fact included on their box set, so this isn't the only place to get it now. But back then, when it came out, it was the only place you could hear this song. They even have it noted here on the back as previously unreleased. So, kind of cool. And I like that card. A little bit different artwork form. It's not the usual Beetle spaceship or anything associated with that. And here we go with the A-side label, Still They Ride, from Escape, and the B-side label of that exclusive track that was not available anywhere else for quite a few years. Like I said, it is definitely on the box set if you get the box set now, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen it on any of their greatest hits or anywhere else. Alright, next up we've got Journey's Who's Crying Now, and it's got the cool, there's that Beetle spaceship I was talking about, busting out of the globe. Nice artwork, colorful, really cool. And then the back side of this is what I like to see on picture sleeves. Give me some cool graphic artwork. Give me a nice group shot of the band. That's really cool there. I like that. And then the A-side label here, Who's Crying Now, and the B-side of the label, Mother Father, which also came off of Escape. Alright, so still sticking with the Journey. We got this be the last one. It's kind of cool artwork here with the double stamp, 2 different colors. Only the Young at Heart, taken from the motion picture soundtrack Vision Quest. And that was a really great soundtrack. The movie was just okay in my opinion. It was real popular and did really well, but for me personally, it was just an okay movie. But it also had Ronnie James Dio on there. So had a lot of really good stuff on that soundtrack. So Journey, Only the Young, from the Vision Quest soundtrack. And it'll be interesting to see what's on the B-side of that, because I don't think it's Journey. I think it's another song off the Vision Quest soundtrack. So here's your A-side with Journey, Only the Young. And what's on the B-side? Sammy Hagar, All Fall in Love Again. Yeah, I told you that soundtrack was good. It is definitely a good movie soundtrack if you're into the classic 80s rock and roll. So, next up, we've got a couple Phil Collins. This one's kind of weird with him being like a member of the Blue Man Group. Yeah. One More Night, great song. I like Phil. I'm just joking about, he looks like he's from the Blue Man Group. It's just stating an obvious observation there. But yeah, Phil Collins was great. I liked him with Genesis. I liked him solo. He did a lot of really good stuff. Didn't get quite so poppy like Sting did. But he did pop. Don't get me wrong. He did some poppy stuff, but not quite to the lounge acts the way Sting went after leaving Police. And I like Sting too. Don't take that wrong. I like Sting. I just think that Phil Collins stayed a little more rockin'. But here's One More Night from No Jacket Required. And the B-side, One More Night from No Jacket Required. It's a promotion copy, not for sale. So we've got a time of 4:25 on that side and a time of 4:25 on this side. So apparently it's a 1-track 45, but it's repeated on both sides. Interesting. Alright, next up we've got a song from the Buster soundtrack. And that was a good movie. I liked Buster. It was pretty entertaining. But Phil Collins, 2 hearts. I haven't watched that movie in a long, long time, but I do remember liking it when it came out. Alright, the A side label there, 2 hearts. And on the B side, we've got The Robbery by Ann Dudley. Interesting. So, 2 different songs from the soundtrack, only one of them with Phil. Alright, now next up we've got Bryan Adams doing one of his really, really popular big hits, Heaven. And it's also repeated down here again in that corner in black, so that's kind of weird. Heaven, Heaven. Yeah, it's a good song. I liked Bryan Adams as well, and this is one of those, I like it when they do this too. You've got Heaven Studio on side 1 and Heaven Live on side 2, so I believe that's an exclusive track to the 45. I don't think that was taken off of one of his live albums or anything. So here we've got the studio version label on the A side and the live version label on the B. So yeah, very cool. Next up, I told you we was very, very poppy here in this rest of this stack pretty much. But we've got Hall & Oates, who also had a lot of good songs in the 80s. Out of Touch. I liked quite a few of their songs actually, for the type of music that it is, not really being my thing. They still did pretty good work as far as I'm concerned. Daryl Hall and John Oates, kind of crazy writing there on the back. And this is another one of those labels that just looks really scuffed up. The old RCA's Out of Touch. And they just didn't hold up well. I don't know if it was the ink or the paper, but Cold, Dark, and Yesterday being the B side there. And you can see how nice and clean the disc itself is. The vinyl is beautiful, like the day it was made. So this sleeve just, I think there was something about some of these labels they had printed up, and either the gloss or broke down or something and made them all cloudy like that. So I've got quite a few RCA labels that look cloudy like that, and they're not necessarily worn. There's no wear on them. So and if you get them in the light just right, you don't even see it. It's weird. You hold it one way in the light and it doesn't really look cloudy, and then you hold it the other way and it does. So I don't know what's going on with those, but like I said, it's not just an isolated situation. I've got quite a few RCA 45s that look that way, and I've shown you quite a few of them. So here's Billy Squier with his biggest, most well-known song, The Stroke. Alright, and it looks like both sides of that picture sleeve are identical. Well, not entirely. I guess you've got the year and the date here on one side and you don't on the other, but for the most part, it's the exact same. And here we got a nice purple capital label, Billy Squier The Stroke from Don't Say No, which was a really, really great album. And 2 Days Gone, which is another song that I really liked off of that album. So that was a really good album. Definitely like it. And then next up, I got 2 copies of this Rod Stewart. And I'm not going to go bashing Rob again. I've said my piece about him numerous times when this 45s that came up. And I know he's got tons of fans. And this was a pretty good song. Do You Think I'm Sexy? He had Hot Legs and Tonight's the Night. And oh, well, yeah, let me show you the B-side there. Not that it's much different. It's just a smaller version because it is the album cover repeated again. And a little bit of credits down here at the bottom. But, yeah, this one looks like the day it was made, too. And it's got the insert still in it. I try to pop those out because they will damage the picture sleeves. You'll see. Yeah, see, look at that. So I do try to pop those out whenever I come across them. But I missed this one apparently. But Carmine Apiece and Rod Stewart doing Do You Think I'm Sexy from Blondes Have More Fun. And on the B side of that, Scarred and Scared and Scarred, Scarred and Scared. Scarred and Scared, I believe it is. So, but yeah, what a beautiful looking vinyl. Nice and clean. And yeah, let's get that insert out of there. We don't need that sucker damaging our picture sleeve anymore. And then here's another copy of it that I have. You can see it's not quite as good a shape. It's the exact same thing. And there again, it looks really good. Has the exact same B-side. Nothing new to show you. Same. Alright, so one more rod here. And Ain't Love a Bitch by Rod Stewart. So, kind of weird the way he's got his hand covering her face, but she seems okay with it. It's the same girl, as you can see. Maybe he's covering her face just because they didn't show it, but it's the same dress, the same girl as what appeared on Do You Think I'm Sexy, which we just looked at. So, 1978. Blondes have more fun, but love is still a bitch, apparently. Alright. And the B-side of that being a song called Last Summer. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for part 8. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you come back for part 9. There's going to be at least a couple more parts to finish up this box, and then we'll move on to something else.